They're specifically objecting to Elon Musk's statement that if workers don't answer the email, it'll be taken as a resignation. They're arguing, in essence, that federal workers are entitled to ignore emails from their bosses asking them what they do all day.
Matt Walsh, in a move that shocks absolutely no one, has once again puckered up to kiss Elon Musk's ass while mocking people who've lost their jobs. I just don't get it with MAGA anymore. Do they not understand that Elon Musk isn't their boss? And the funniest part is that Walsh claims to be some kind of traditional God-fearing man, but always seems to be the first in line to defend whatever Musk does, even if his actions go against what he claims are his beliefs. But hey, let me know what you think in the comments while we get into this clip, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
As you may have seen by now, here's the email that I'm talking about. It was sent by the Office of Personnel Management, which is essentially the HR department of the federal government. And it was clearly drafted by Elon Musk, who famously asked this same question to the old CEO of Twitter before Musk took over and fired him. But here's what the email looked like. Very, very simple. As you can see, it reads, please reply to this email with approximately 5 bullets of what you accomplished last week and CC your manager. Now, you will not find a less threatening, more straightforward question that an employer could possibly ask an employee. I struggle to think of any remotely productive worker in any context who would have any difficulty answering this question.
What the hell has happened to these people? Why are they treating Elon Musk like he is any way able to fire any federal workers? Did these people forget that they voted for Trump?
Much of the black middle class was built by federal jobs. That may change. For the last several decades, federal jobs helped black workers find stable work with guardrails to prevent bias, but mass cuts are threatening decades of upward mobility. In other words, yes, these federal jobs don't really benefit the taxpayers who are funding the salaries. Instead, they benefit certain demographics that without these fake jobs would not make anywhere near as much money. In their panic over Elon Musk, Democrats and the corporate press are finally just coming out and admitting that. And as you expect, they're going to fight like hell to keep that gravy train going. Some federal workers have just filed a lawsuit against the government because of the email asking them what they do all day. Yes, rather than answer an extremely basic question that demands a bare minimum of accountability, federal workers would rather go to court. As Axios reports, quote, federal workers sue over what did you do last week email. Only federal agencies have the ability to hire and fire their workers, the lawsuit says. The Office of Personnel Management, the federal government's HR office, which sent out the email over the weekend, does not have that authority, the suit alleges. They're specifically objecting to Elon Musk's statement that if workers don't answer the email, it'll be taken as a resignation. They're arguing, in essence, that federal workers are entitled to ignore emails from their bosses asking them what they do all day.
These people are horrible. Walsh is such a God-fearing man that he tries to insinuate that black people don't deserve these kind of jobs and that Elon Musk is a god among men that should be everyone's boss since he donated millions to get Donald Trump elected.
And that's probably terrible news for their careers. But it's good news for us because if nothing else, their televised meltdowns have been pretty entertaining. So we'll start with this indignant woman on CNN who works at some unnamed federal agency, and she's very upset about this. Watch.
First, just tell us about this email and what it was like receiving it and what you all have talked about after getting it.
Sure. I got this email Saturday afternoon, about 3 p.m., and I felt absolutely infuriated getting this email with a demand within 48 hours to provide a response on what I did within the last week or face termination. This is clearly an attempt from Elon Musk to harass and bully and intimidate the federal workforce, which is part of his broader plan to gut the federal workforce and privatize public sector services to ensure that corporations like his own can get more profit. And that makes me really angry, and my coworkers as well.
These spoiled brats. I mean, it's amazing. They just can't help themselves. Yeah, the plan is to gut the federal workforce, and this is you are why, lady. You're the reason why we want to gut the federal workforce.
All she did was go against Elon Musk. In this snippet, she doesn't even trash talk Donald Trump. Why is everyone in MAGA trying to defend Elon Musk as if he can do no wrong? Then to say that she is entitled because she dared to question what authority he has just shows how these people just want to give more power to the rich, just as long as they somewhat agree with them.
Exactly because of you and people like you. infuriated. Infuriated that she's being asked to simply, what did you do last week? With the taxpayer money, we are paying you. It's our money out of our pockets to do a job. What did you do the job? What is the job? What did you do? That's the question. Now, evidently, this woman has a lot of time to appear on CNN and claim that she's being bullied and harassed, and she's absolutely infuriated. But even after talking through this whole segment, she still never explains what she does all day. Instead, she attacks her supervisors, which is, again, it can't be emphasized enough. In the private sector, you would not get away with this. If your boss comes up to you at your job and says, well, "Hey, what did you do last week?" And you said, "Well, I'm infuriated that you even asked me that question. How dare you? How dare you expect me to explain what I'm doing with the money you're paying me to do the job that I'm? How dare you?" If you responded that way, you would just be fired.
Look at how Matt Walsh immediately tries to defend Elon Musk. That federal worker rightly called out how Elon is making all these moves to hopefully enrich himself with more government contracts, but you don't hear a peep out of him about that. These people don't actually care about stopping corruption or making sure there isn't wasteful spending in government. If they did, they would stop funding Israel and actually audit the Pentagon.
Thousands of probationary federal workers have already met that fate. In particular, terminated workers at the IRS are having some of the better meltdowns. Here's one of them, which was posted by NBC Philadelphia. Watch.
It was an illegal firing. My performance was good. I was doing everything I was supposed to be doing. I was even one of those government employees that went every day of the week. I had to report every Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30. That was my tour duty, and that's what I served. And here I am.
Did you get? I was one of those government employees who went to work every day. One of those. Yeah, no, but that's exactly the problem. Oh, I was even one of those federal workers who went to work every day. No, but that shouldn't be one of those. That should just be all of them. That's not. That shouldn't be like a type of federal worker. That shouldn't be a special category. I was one of those special ones who actually went to work every day, Monday through Friday. Yes, this IRS worker stated that he was shocked to be fired because he actually showed up to work 5 days a week.
Wouldn't you be shocked if you got fired after fulfilling all of the requirements of your job? This guy literally is the model for what he claims he wants federal workers to be, but he still mocks him. Let's see if he has any other examples.
So this seems to be something of a trend at the IRS. Here's another recently terminated IRS worker with his sob story.
I was just in training. I waited 4 months to go to training just to be fired.
He's one of 6,000 plus federal employees who work for the Internal Revenue Service fired this week as part of mass layoffs happening under the Trump administration. The majority of those workers, like Charles, were probationary workers employed for less than a year. Charles told us more than 24 employees were laid off from his office here off Gessner. He says it took over a year to get his dream job as a tax-exempt officer dealing with nonprofit organizations and compliance. His pride and passion taken away.
Excited. I was so excited to learn the job. I was telling my management I was going to be the best. They can count on me. And it's not like I have no say-so. Like they just toss you away. And I thought corporate America was like this, not the government. I thought the government takes care of their people.
So did you catch his dream job? He was a tax-exempt officer dealing with nonprofit organizations and compliance. That's what he's crying about on national television. That this was his dream that has been shattered. This was his, his pursuit of happiness, kind of story. And growing up, some people want to be astronauts. Some kids want to be race car drivers. They want to be, they want to be heroes. They want to be, but not this guy. He dreamt of becoming a tax-exempt officer dealing with nonprofit organizations and compliance.
It's honestly ridiculous watching MAGA commentators like Matt Walsh trip over themselves to defend Elon Musk. They love to talk about being free thinkers and fighting the elites. But the second a billionaire gives them a little attention, they turn into his biggest fan club. It's actually embarrassing. At this point, they're not even trying to hide it. They're just running PR for the richest guy on the planet. But what do you think? Does this whole thing annoy you as much as it does me? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.